My name is Christina Wotton, and I am currently the Superintendent of St. George Municipal School Unit. Started out my career as an educational technician at the Warren Community School, and then quickly gained my own classroom as a special education teacher in Thomaston. I taught a K-4 behavioral program for 4 years before I decided that I was ready to be an administrator. At that time, I had 19 kids with emotional and behavioral disabilities and was managing 6 ed techs, and I thought, hey, I'll just put my hat in the ring for an assistant principal job at Warren Community, where I had started my career, and was fortunate to be an assistant principal of Warren Community School and Friendship Village School for 1 year, and then a principal position came up in our district, and that was the principal of Union Elementary and Prescott Memorial. And so I was the principal of both schools for 2 years, and then we did a little reorganization, and I remained at Union as principal for 5 years. And then I was encouraged to apply for the, at that time, Director of Instruction position in RSU 40. So was in RSU 40 and then continued as the Director of Instruction and Assistant Superintendent for the next 6 years. And then I decided that I would come over to Augusta and be the Assistant Superintendent of Augusta. And now I have landed in my dream job at St. George and am very happy to be there. So I think definitely thinking back about what led me into education, it was my children at the time. I did things a little backwards and had a baby before starting college. So really my daughter helped shape what I wanted to become as I was going through college. I think I changed my major 4 times, but really loved children. And when I finished my degree, I actually had 2 babies and became a teacher. So I definitely think my children and being a young mom inspired me to want to support other children and my own. I love most connecting with the kids, especially those who maybe don't have the easiest go at school. School came easy to me, but it wasn't my favorite thing. And I think really when you can connect with kids who maybe have had not the best home life or just are struggling, and when you can really connect with them and help them make it through, that's what I love the most. So usually it's seeing kids who have a lot of extreme behavioral challenges, and then seeing them work through that and be able to be successful in school. There is nothing better. Well, there's many things that come to my mind when I think about what's going on well in St. George, and I had said for many years I didn't want to be a superintendent unless it was in St. George, and that's why I applied and kind of shot my shot for this role. But the one big thing that probably many have heard about is our brand new CTE center. So pre-K through 8th grade, we have a new center. The community raised about $4.5 million. And we have 3-year-olds hammering golf tees into pumpkins, all the way up to 8th graders who are going to be learning to weld. There's a welding room. So really bringing back to hands-on, minds-on learning is the first thing that comes to mind. The second amazing thing that's happening is a combination of early childhood and outdoor learning. So we have a very extensive outdoor learning playground. We brought in all of our 3-year-olds in the community this year. So we have 3-year-olds all the way to 8th grade. We call it 3K. And just seeing the challenges of public school developmentally going down to 3-year-old age and appropriate play and skill-based learning has been amazing and a big challenge, I think more challenging than we thought, but also the outdoor learning. But there's so many amazing things happening at St. George that I'm so proud to share, but those are 2 things that come to mind. So my first year in this role, my entry plan is focused around building relationships, getting to know the community, and really starting to build for next year a strategic plan for where are we going to head the next 5 to 10 years. We're the first in the nation to have this hands-on, minds-on learning and have an entire building focused on that for our students and the community. So what is that going to look like in 5 to 10 years when our kids have been there? And then what changes are going to need to be made at the high school level for our kids who are coming out with such high strength skills in the CTE career technical learning side of things. So really beginning to build the strategic plan, but really getting to know the community and finding how I can best support. I did my doctorate in 2023, and my dissertation was on family perspectives of augmentative and alternative communication methods for non-speaking autistics. And so I have a son who's 20 years old, and when he was 16, he finally learned to communicate. And so by using spelling to communicate, we read a book that was written by another parent, and this was during COVID, so he was at home. We drove him to Virginia after 8 years of really not leaving the house or going anywhere as a family. And he learned over 2 days. Everything was put into his gross motor, and it starts out as target practice. And he then moved on to being able to independently keyboard and type and communicate his thoughts and dreams and goals. And so now I know, and he's working on writing 2 books and wants to be a songwriter. And we never knew anything about this for our son. So now the Department of Education is actually paying for a training for teachers, and we're trying to get teachers recruited to do this training to be able to help others who are unable to communicate their thoughts and feelings and just really connect with them. So that's something about me that is unique, but I also love, if I could choose one thing to do, well, it's really 2, but I would be by the ocean, hiking, and reading a book.